Welcome to a new week. Wow, we've got new moon, new energy, new perspective, but we've got 4 key themes that you really want to watch out for. And I'm going to talk about those as well as how you can leverage that from day to day this week in order to really experience the absolute best. This is a week of wish fulfillment. So let's talk about what is unfolding for this week. This forecast is brought to you by the Wisdom of the Four Rivers, which is an Egyptian numerological system. I'm your numerologist, Joy Kingsborough, and this week is all about how you experience, perceive, and welcome dreams. Do you believe dreams are make-believe, magic, something for fairy tales? Or do you believe it's possible for you to tap into your dream life? And are you doing it right now? If you're not doing it right now, are you willing to do it this week? I really feel like this is the universal invitation. Universally, we're experiencing a couple of key energies that are coming together in a really precise way. And they're about ready to make a big change. But in that change, the overall goal is your loving experience. Taking your life to a whole new level, taking your life to an experience of profound love, self-leadership, self-authority. This is a week that is inviting you to see just how loved you are and to allow more love to move through your story. So the first theme this week that's going to be coming up for a lot of you is the theme of micromanaging my dreams. You might be someone who micromanages what's possible. You dream just enough, but it has to be dreams that feel possible to you. You don't allow yourself to go beyond to anything too big. You don't go to a place where, you've imagined since you were a child, the playfulness of a dream that might not happen, the playfulness of a dream that gets you giddy and excited and feels like a fiction movie, the kind of dream that gets you lit up inside and gets you that feeling of joy and vitality and life. A good dream feels like life flowing through your body. A good dream is the excitement that gets your whole being feeling giddy. So dream states are powerful, but a lot of people limit their dreams because they want to be able to see how it can be fulfilled. And as a result, their dream gets contracted. And they micromanage by, I'm going to dream this safe dream, this thing that I think can happen this year. And really what they're doing is creating a goal and pretending to be excited about the goal, hoping that if they reach that goal, then one day they'll experience something more or what they dream of will feel more possible. The challenge with that is if you limit your ability to dream, then you trigger the contraction of your creator mechanism, of your ability to manifest. As a creator, you can only create when the energy is amped up enough for it. So this week is going to teach you all about amplification, all about expansion and amplification. So that's theme number 1. Number 2 is going to be the theme of, will I allow things to unfold, or am I holding on to so much of my past energy, past ideas, past dreams that I won't let things shift? Am I holding on tightly to what was? Am I holding on because I'm afraid I'm going to forget? Am I someone who hoards past experiences, past people, past things? Or am I making space for what's next? The third theme is really connected to the year that we find ourselves in. And this is all about discovering and surrendering to our greatest good. So the year that we've been in is a 2022 is all about the energy of the 6. And it's about the 6 related to our experiences, our family, what we love, what helps us feel connected and alive, what helps us feel expanded, what helps us feel like we're contributing, that we matter, that we have meaning, that we have purpose. So this 6 energy shows up and says, I would like to keep showing you what is. And in order to keep showing you what is, I need you to surrender to seeing it, to surrender to your greater good. Oftentimes, in our micromanagement of our dreams and in the not allowing and holding on to things, we end up micromanaging what comes into our experience at the level of what we're willing to do, what we're willing to take action on, what we're willing to receive into our story. And so surrender is an opportunity for us to see what is and to see what could possibly be even better. And when we surrender at that level, we call in our higher consciousness. We call in this higher being that operates on our behalf with us in this life, in this body, animating our dreams. So the 6th energy year is looking for us to accept our purpose, to accept our expression, to accept that we are a part of this, we matter, we have meaning, and in that meaning, it's intended to become better and better and better, not stay the same. And so that's why the surrender energy is so powerful. It reminds me of, that feeling when something good is about to take place. Maybe you're going on vacation, or you're going to an event, something is occurring, or you're receiving, gifts for a holiday, and you have no expectation for what it is. You're not wanting it to be anything. You're just so excited to be celebrating this moment with the people you love that you're open and excited and curious about whatever unfolds and whatever flows into your experience. You know that it's going to keep bringing in better and better and better experiences, and that this one gift coming in can be a catalyst for others, but it isn't the only one, that we're not limited to one thing, that we can keep having these experiences. So this week is like that. There's a gift coming in, and if you have expectation, if you're micromanaging your dream and have expectation for how it should unfold, if you are not allowing, you're holding on, if you're not surrendered, then you're going to find that it's going to be very difficult to let that dream in, to receive it. In fact, you might look the other way, walk down the other street. You might not pay attention to what's right in front of you. Or you receive the gift and immediately you want to deflect it and give it back. If you're someone who's ever received a compliment and you have a hard time saying thank you and immediately want to give the compliment back, it's one thing if you give the compliment back and you've received it. But if you give the compliment back and you haven't received it, you've literally hit it like with a tennis racket. It's like, oh, you look beautiful today. Oh, so do you. Right? You don't receive it. You just bounce it back off of you, which means you don't let it into your being. You don't receive it. So if somebody says, you look beautiful today, and you can say, thank you. I appreciate that. Wow, you look really lovely too. That's the energy being amplified through you. It's not being bounced off of you. It's being amplified. So this is how gifts want to be experienced in our world as well. This is how our blessings want to be experienced through us and to the world, so they can be amplified. Overall, the theme of this week is amplification. Amplifying how you feel about the life you're living. Amplifying how you feel about the life the collective is living. Are you okay with the steady growth and change that the world is in? Or are you resistant to moving through what's needed in order to have a better experience? And what about your own life? So collective judgment, personal judgment. Are you micromanaging what's possible for the world? Or are you ready to surrender to the world might actually be an extraordinary place as we continue to grow? We might just be on the verge of magic. Can you imagine? Imagine if we started to believe that more and more. What if when we looked out, we saw magic birthing? That in the mud and the muck of what is visible, we could accept it and realize that one of the most extraordinary, beautiful societies, just like the most beautiful lotus flower, is birthing up out of that mud. What if we believed in that possibility? And what if we let this week change us? This week is Inspiring Higher Dream for the collective, and it's Inspiring Higher Dream for you. So Monday's energy, as we take a peek here at what we have on the table numerologically, what we know about this week from Monday's perspective is we're about ready to have a new moon. So new moon is happening on Wednesday. So we're flowing through this energy that is amping up to reach a peak state. But this week, we also know that we're going to keep amping up. So there are a few things that are likely going on. As we enter into Monday, we have the consciousness that we're being perceived in the world in a particular way. We're seeing how we communicate and engage. We're noticing how our relationships are flowing. With the Queen of Hearts energy, this is what is sitting with us consciously on Monday. The Queen of Hearts comes from the river of consciousness of the hearts, which is all about self-awareness, self-love, self-connection, self-reflection. Who am I? And the Queen is all about, how do I want to engage in the world? How will I nurture? How will I share my energy with the world in order to make it a better place? Will I do that because I'm trying to change everybody else's energy so I'm comfortable? Or am I allowing myself to be a better place with which the world can connect and be a part of? We have ruling energy too, which means we're also feeling this desire to be seen and heard and loved in ways that are maybe new to us, maybe expanded to us. This may come with a bit of a trigger. We might be feeling the triggering energy that is related to, I wish that people saw the changes that I'm making, or I wish people saw who I really am. I wish that the world was responding to me in a new, different way. So wanting things to shift and maybe wanting to see more of that reflection in the world, wanting to be someone who welcomes that in. The Queen of Hearts is all about the flow of that love, the amplification, the flow, especially the flow of love in one direction or the other. You're either flowing in or you're flowing out. So it's important to know the difference. Now, when I talked about the theme for this week, your dreams, they're either flowing in or flowing out too. So let's talk about the difference. If your dreams are flowing in, if your love is flowing in, then you are getting all of your ideas and dreams and your appreciation and your sense of self from outside of you, and you're waiting for it to come into you from the world. You're waiting for the world to tell you you're enough. You're waiting for the world to approve, to say you're fantastic, to give you a compliment, to care for you, to nurture you, to make you feel safe, to see you, to say you matter. That's flowing in. But if you're flowing out, then you've decided to be the love and the appreciation and the affirmation for yourself. You've decided that from within, I'm going to cultivate the experience I want to have right here in this body. I'm going to love and appreciate myself. I'm going to be a family member my family wants to be with. I'm going to be a friend my friends want to be with. I'm going to be a family member, a friend, a being, a person I want to be with. And as a result, it's going to flow out. So it's a powerful understanding about flow. The direction of the flow matters. If you're waiting for it to come from outside of you into your being, then you're going to feel the challenge. If you're willing to have it flow from within you out, then you're going to be expanded, and this amplifying energy is going to take you to new, higher states of experience, and it's going to contribute to the new moon that's coming. So if today you could choose to be the one that reflects love on the inside first and then flows that out, and you're willing to interrupt any times you're looking for love outside of you, to shift it and give it to yourself instead, then you set yourself up for success as you move towards this moon energy. Really important that you also take the time to reflect on what it is that you really want. If the dream is coming from within you and flowing out, then get curious. What is my dream? What would be a dream come true? What would be a magical unfolding? And get curious, because root chakra is really activated this week. Is my dream based on keeping me safe? Is it because I'm afraid that I won't have something? I'll use the example of sometimes we want a rescue. We want big bags of money, or we want someone to come in who helps us feel safe and heard, and somebody who takes care of something in our life that we feel like we can't take care of. And the challenge with that is it's not a dream, it's micromanagement. Right? We micromanage by looking at safety. I want to feel safe, so I'm going to lock myself away. I want to feel safe, so I'm going to micromanage these details over here. And so my dream is that I'd be able to put up this really big fence to keep myself safe. Or I dream of this big bag of money coming in so that I don't have to worry about having enough. And the universe says, how about you dream about not worrying about that? How about you dream about having a life you love so much that you know you're always cared for? How about dreaming about starting an extraordinary project that you know you would love to experience, that would bring you more play and fun and impact, and you'd be able to do the things that you love to do? What if you imagined, allowing this experience that feels almost frivolous? I'd like to have this really big property where I could, build housing for a large group of people, and then we could collaborate and co-op together. Or I have this dream of a school, or I have this dream of this business doing this, or I have this dream of expanding our family and maybe adopting more kids. Whatever it is, imagine the dream. If you didn't contain it, if you didn't control it. That's what the Queen of Hearts wants, a big amplifying energy that says I can do, be, create, experience anything that I want. I just have to know that I want it. And true desire isn't birthed out of fear. True desire isn't birthed from the root chakra specifically, right? Desire comes from a place of knowing self, of trusting self, of loving self, and then having the freedom to say, wouldn't it be fun if? Wouldn't it be fun if? So that's Monday. What direction are you flowing? And are you setting an intention that's based on the reality of what a dream is, not the reality that you think you have to fit into? So here we are on Tuesday. Now Tuesday, we begin to shift. Monday's energy had us really deep diving into meaning and choosing the direction of our flow. Now Tuesday, we land into the Jack of Hearts, and it's a 3 energy. So again, like I said, this whole week is going to be amplification. 3 is another indication of it. We have a lot of 3 energy flowing through this week. We have lots of 2 energy amplifying. We have lots of hearts. So again, Jack of Hearts, stream of consciousness of self-love, self-reflection, self-awareness, right? And the Jack, really specifically, asks us to stop telling lies about what's really important to us, and to also stop sacrificing ourselves. So these are 2 really core energies of the Jack. Now, as it mixes up with the rest of the energies for the month, for the year, we have this, again, amping it way up, that we can thank our month energy 8 for that, really amping everything up. But now that we're getting close to the end of the month, it's amping it up from within in a very big way. It's amping up our self-reflection. So who we really are, seeing who we really are in the world, expressing who we are in the world. And your awareness of that is so important, because if you know that you are capable of more, if you know that you have things to learn, if you know that you're not quite sure, or you know you're certain, whatever it is that you know within your being, you don't want to fake it today. You don't want to pretend that you feel differently. You want to be with what is and let it expand. And a really good example of this is maybe I feel a little uncertain about taking steps forward in my life. Maybe I feel a little uncertain about the intention I just set. Maybe I have an intention for this new moon. Maybe I'm walking into a whole new experience and I'm not so sure. Well, in order for me to amp the energies up, I need to be present with what is and not lie to myself about how I'm feeling. Sometimes we can deny what's true. We can feel the uncertainty and go, well, I'm just going to pretend that I'm strong and amazing and I've got this and I'm going to rock the energies and life's going to take care of me anyway. And if you can feel that, underneath that is this insecurity that's now been put upon by, it's not okay to feel insecure. I've got to now present myself as excited and excitable and ready to go. And you can feel that underneath is this discomfort. But if you're really to face that discomfort and say, okay, I feel uncertain, I'm not really sure, and that's okay. I'm going to face it and I'm going to be with what is. I'm going to be with what is, and I'm not going to try to change it. However, as I'm with what is, I'm going to let it rise up and move out of my experience. And I'm going to bring in supporting energies that just might help this insecurity feel better. So what would help that insecurity feel better? It might be certainty. It might be love. It might be appreciation. It might be something you can't even imagine. It might be something like, well, I really just want quiet or peace. What is it that this insecurity would really love in order to just feel okay, feel better, feel what's next? To feel okay being what it is. When you take that approach, you face it, you let yourself feel it, you free it, and you invite in what might make it feel better. You don't need it to be different, but you invite in a feeling state to see what might change. So imagine you feel that uncertainty and you invite in more of that clarity. Maybe clarity is what was really going to help you feel more certain. I'm just going to invite clarity in, and I wonder what it'd feel like if I was clear right now. What would clarity feel like in my body? And you allow yourself to activate that clarity. And in doing so, it changes it for real in the body. Doesn't fake it. You're not amping yourself up. You're not rah-rahing. You're not cheerleading yourself to the next experience, because that rarely works, especially in a day like today. We want real frequency, real vibration, real energy. We want the truth, because the universe is going to amp up the truth. You don't want to fool someone with your energy. You're not trying to save face or look good for the camera or look good for your clients or friends or whatever. You are connecting with the universe. The universe is connecting in with you at a frequency level, so it's got to be real. You got to make that shift today by being okay with what is, and then also inviting the transitory, transitioning energies that would that help me feel better. Then from that place, if I feel clear, what would help me feel more confident, more sure? What would help me, or what would give me that feeling of success? Well, what does success feel like? What does it feel like when I love my life? What does it feel like when my intention arises? What if my intention was here right now? Ultimately, this is where you want to get to, is the frequency state of my intention is here now. And you want to feel this as you move into that new moon energy. Really want to seize this as truth. I'm allowing myself the space to feel it now. And you're going to start to notice that by about halfway through the day, maybe a little later in the day, you're going to be going into this energy of Wednesday. And for some of you, if you're in Australia, New Zealand, other parts of the world, we're a little further ahead of where I am in the United States. You're going to be feeling this energy later on Wednesday, but on Tuesday, you may start feeling it here in North America, and in Europe, you're going to be feeling more of that later Tuesday energy of, oh, I feel this amping up. I feel like something's unfolding. I feel like something's happening. And so you want to tap into it from that energy. You don't want to move through your day feeling uncertain or insecure or acting as if you don't, pretending you don't, because then you're going to amplify what's underneath it. And then that new moon energy you're going to feel a little jostling, a little wonky energy as you move into that new moon. So this will help you really leverage that. So I think Tuesday has an extraordinary power to really get to the truth of your own self-reflection, to not deny what is. Fake it till you make it might work in certain circumstances. It doesn't work when we're talking about frequency. You never want to fake it in frequency, because the frequency will never, it will create fake conditions. It won't be real. Everything will be built on sand. You do not want fake energy today. This, among anything, is be with what is, and then allow what is to transmute and to rise on its own with love, support, encouragement. Well, hello, Wednesday. Wednesday is our day of receiving something. It feels like a physical something, like you're handed a physical note, a physical gift, having a physical experience. Or it could be representation of something physical that's unfolding, like an email or a conversation, or you get news about something. But it feels very much like it impacts your life story in a physical way. And this is related to that new moon energy. The new moon is bringing things in for you. The new moon is bringing something that's going to help to change your life story. You may realize or recognize the connection that it's bringing in the new story right away, or you might not quite understand fully how it's impacting change, but I feel like by the end of the week, you've got a pretty good sense. So today's energy really is this new, fresh something that is very karmic. So it's like moving you just a little bit to one direction so that you can be more on path than you were before the new moon. It doesn't mean you weren't on path. It's just a little more precise alignment. And who doesn't love more precise alignment? So I think Wednesday is precise alignment energy day. And I really love it because it's an opportunity to connect with and be in the sacred energy of moon transition, of the moon cycle, of your life cycle, of your story, of your pattern. And to recognize that while you can't control circumstances, right? Here we go, the unfolding of controlling our dreams, controlling circumstances. We can stay connected to our dreams. We can amplify our dreams. And then the world is going to respond to that frequency and bring us in exactly what is for us on the journey to experiencing what we want. It's just that what's for us in the physical doesn't always match the creative flow that we have, but it does always match what we want in the end, right? So what you actually want. Tricky because getting there sometimes has you believing you want something else. I think about in my story, I used to think that I wanted to be the most extraordinary health coach that ever lived. I really wanted to. I was a personal trainer. I was working towards all of these certifications in health and wellness, and I loved it. I loved understanding all the dynamics of biology. I'm still an absolute geek when it comes to biology. I love the way the cells work together, the neurons fire, communicates to the stomach, and all of these things are happening in the nervous system. I love it. However, what I really wanted was to experience impact and a connection to the divine that had me feeling fulfilled at every level of my being. And it came in the pathway of channeling and numerology. I had no idea at the time when I was dreaming of helping people that it would be this. But I am so grateful that it's this. So just because I couldn't think of it, and just because you can't think of it right now, you don't want to be punished because you can't conceive of what's possible. So you want to tap into the frequency. You want to create the frequency and then let go and allow things to unfold. And so sometimes when they start to unfold, you're like, well, that's not what I asked for. But I promise it is. Stay aligned in your frequency. Stay aligned with that you're dreaming of. and then let go of the conditions as they manifest. Love your life unconditionally and then watch it transmute and transform and become something spectacular. So yes, new moon. But let's talk about this new moon, because this new moon wants you to also recognize that sometimes your dream unfolding doesn't feel safe. It feels a little scary. It feels a little wobbly. Like this thing is happening. And you can kind of feel like, have you ever gotten that excited feeling like, I don't know how my life is going to change? Like, I don't know how I'm going to handle all of this. That's the excitement and the nervousness of a little bit of the unsteady, unstable conditions of change. It is a little wobbly during change. It is not stable. It's not something that's landed or grounded. And so you might pick up on that. You might be feeling that. It might not feel safe for a minute, or you might feel a little like, oh, I wish I knew what was happening. And I'm going to invite you to just let go and let the new moon, let the world, let life unfold. This new moon already has your information. You set your intention, you set your frequency, and you let it amp up. And so here you are in the celebration of now. So we're at 1 degree of the Sagittarius energy, which means we're right aligned with a celebration of a new beginning. So here we are at one of the most, I think this is the most blessed new moon of the year. I think it's going to bring a lot of really powerful change that you love, things that you've been wanting. I think that's coming through. I think you're going to feel really clear about what might be unfolding next. You might start to have pieces of a plan. Like I said, for some, it may not land until the end of the week, but I feel like for a lot of you, there's going to be this feeling of, I see the direction of things. I see where it's going. It's a 10 of hearts, so we're being influenced by the stream of consciousness that is the heart still. So we're going to be hearts all week long. That's not going to change. Our stream of consciousness, self-reflection, self-love, self-actualization, right? Who we are on the inside wants to flow out into the world on the outside. It's got a 4 energy in the numerology, which is all about stability. That no matter what it feels like, the underlying energy is stable. This can also have you wanting to take action towards the fulfillment of your dream. It's 10 of hearts, 4. 10 of hearts, it's got to be new. It's beyond. But I'm recognizing that in it, I see the steps. I see that there are steps in front of me. I may not see them all, but I see the steps in front of me. I also feel willing to build this new version. So there's a really beautiful energy that feels like it's present here for Wednesday, which is, I believe. I'm willing to believe. I believe. I'm willing to believe. Maybe I don't yet believe, but I'm willing to believe. And as I believe, I start to feel more belief. I love this new path that's unfolding, or this new version of this path, or the new details of the path. I love it. And I commit to it. This is where the surrender opens up. Do I surrender to the unfolding of my dream, even if I can only see little bits of the unfolding plan? Will I surrender to my greater good? Will I surrender to the greater good I don't yet see? Do I surrender to the dream I have that might not look the way I think? I have a dream in my head right now. I have a dream, this vision of how I'll experience, especially going into this next year. It's pretty clear in my head, and yet I have the really strong awareness that while it's clear in my head, what I see at the end of next year will not be the picture that was in my head, but what I'll feel is the same feeling that's in my body right now. The feeling in my body right now is my life is getting better and better, and I'm always aligned with my greater good, and I'm always surrendered to doing, feeling, being, expressing, connecting with people that support the unfolding of my greatest good. What about you? That really is how we move through this new moon. The new moon, if you haven't set an intention, set one. But hopefully you set one a few days ago, and now you're in the celebration of the energy. That's really the best way to leverage and seize this. If you haven't set an intention, do so now. Take a moment to really set an intention, or to hear the intention that's been underlying anyway, because the universe has been asking you what you want for the last couple of weeks, getting ready for this new moon. So the universe already has your intention in the form of frequency, but it's it's good to get your mind aligned with it so that you can sync up with your own energy field. So great energy. I really love Wednesday. I think this is going to be the peak of the week. Although, depending on where you are and what's happening in your story, you might find that Thursday and Friday have some really good energy. But again, I think this is the peak of it. And then everything else sort of snowballs from this moment. So Monday is really setting things up. It's moving things up, amplifying it into an experience. Then the rest of the week, sort of a snowballing of what happened. But you're going to be feeling it as more amplifying. It's just not going to be new. That same new energy is going to be carrying you all week long. So your thought, it's like if you could watch your thought's going, it's going up from Monday to Wednesday, and then it sort of steadies. Your thoughts are staying fairly even keel, but your emotions keep rising. Right? So the mind keeps going here and the emotions keep going. So that's kind of how this energy, and so you might feel some wonky energy later in the week as the gap from your thinking isn't changing much. It's staying fairly stable, but the emotions and the experience are heightening. So that could have to do with the collective as well as we go through this energy. Welcome to Thursday. As I'm looking at the energies for Thursday and thinking about what's really unfolding for the world, I can't help but notice that right outside my window, I've got this beautiful tree that I'm in North America, I'm in the United States, and so it is fall where I am. Well, fall going into winter. The leaves are still changing and falling where I am. And so I've got these beautiful orange and yellows and greens, and then these beautiful birds that keep flying in. It looks like a couple, or a couple of couples of birds, and they're flying and they're playing together and landing in the trees. And you just sort of feel this like deeper love vibe. And it makes me think about the energy for Thursday. It makes me feel more connected to it, an understanding of the energies that are coming together, this sort of a colliding of energy. And the colliding of energy has to do with the consciousness of the card for today. And then it has to do with the consciousness of the numerological pattern, the rhythm of the world that's being experienced. And then, of course, that's being amplified by the holiday being celebrated in the United States, which is Thanksgiving. So a day really intended, at least at this point, how the world is, or how the United States is celebrating this, is more family-based. And then the world is being impacted by those who are able to pick up on that energy, that love and connection, also connecting to the consciousness. So the overall consciousness might make this one of the better Thanksgiving holidays that a lot of people experience because of the way the energies are coming together. And of course, this is going to be the same no matter where you are in the world, whether you're working, whether it's a holiday, it doesn't matter. You're going to be picking up on the felt sense of the Nine of Hearts. The Nine of Hearts is a consciousness that, again, is the hearts. It's the expression of self. It's the self-actualization and awareness. But the nine is the bringing something to the fullness of the experience. It is a fulfillment. We often see the Nine of Hearts as a bit of a wish fulfillment card. Now, this energy is consciously overlaid into the consciousness of the collective. So we know we're coming off the heels of this new moon. We're feeling the new moon energy. It's been pretty strong within 12 hours either side of the new moon. And in that new moon, the new moon was bringing about newness, new, fresh things, and this sense of a new experience, a new wish being fulfilled, a new dream. And so here we are with this wish fulfillment. And so maybe if you didn't experience something that felt like a wish fulfillment yesterday, maybe you felt it, but you didn't see it. Maybe today's the day that you see something unfold. You have an experience of it. You're like, oh, I am getting exactly what I wanted. Maybe I didn't realize it until just this moment, and I have an opportunity. Now, the energy that's also coming with this is the biorhythm of the five. So the five is all about freedom, play, expansion, connecting with lots of people, groups, gatherings. It's a celebratory energy and really perfect if you're in the United States. It's great for the celebration, but this is also great wherever you are. This is about networking, bringing people together. So if you have an opportunity, get a group together and go to lunch. Get a group together and have a great conversation. This is a good energy for celebrating and asking people, what amazing things are happening in your life. And this is also great for the practice of gratitude. I am grateful. Today, I am grateful for life. Today, I choose to feel grateful for everything that life is unfolding for me and for the collective. And I don't need the world to change. I don't need a wish to come true to feel grateful. But I love that my gratitude leads to more fulfillment and an acknowledgement of that. So it's a really powerful energy. It also is bringing in commitment energy. So it's bringing in this, you've got sort of this plan that's unfolding and a desire to maybe start taking action on it. So even if you find yourself in the United States and it's holiday and you're not working, you might feel like you kind of want to sneak off and write or journal or even work. You have this desire to sneak in and take a step, to take an action. And, I'm always one to say, go with the flow. Go with the flow of where you feel inspired and called. There's no rule that you can't do this or you have to do it this way. Let yourself have the freedom of that. The 5 is definitely going to be pushing you to do what you want. So if you want to hang out with family, go hang out with family. If you want some time to yourself, do that. And whatever it is, maybe you want to go for a hike in nature. I feel like for the rest of the week, you're going to be really feeling the inspiration to get out of the house and to do some things that really matter to you. So today, play with the celebration of life. Notice the gifts that are pouring in. Feel the gratitude that helps to activate more conditions, not the gratitude for conditions. It's a very unique perspective, not unique. Let's word that differently. A very aligned perspective to connected to the energies that are shifting this week. Do I allow things to come into my experience? Do I micromanage them? Am I coming from the inside out? All of those energies, do I hold on? Am I surrendered? If you're surrendered, then you're grateful first, and then the conditions arise. Grateful, conditions arise. Grateful, conditions arise. It's not conditions arise, then I'm grateful. If you're coming from that direction, you can actually feel it. As I say it, conditions arise, and I go within, my body sort of feels this contraction because it's not quite fulfillment. The only way we can feel fulfilled is the gratitude flows through, and then the conditions arise. Right? It's a beautiful energy. Happy Thanksgiving, United States. Happy Love, Freedom, Wish Fulfillment Day to the world. Oh, Friday. So here we are, leaning into the end of the week. What can we expect for Friday? So as we lean into Friday's energy, there's a couple of things that make this a little bit different than our usual, and it has to do with the bigger collective energies. The year is a 6. We're almost done with it. The year is coming to a close, which means it needs to wrap things up. So there's some stuff that's just got to get cleaned up for the end of the year. So anytime we have 6 energies really amplified, we know that we're being transitioned related to the year energy. So today is a ruling energy 6 energy day. We're going to be feeling it. What have I not accepted? What am I holding on to? What am I attached to? What are my expectations for the future? Am I living now? And you're going to feel that in a really big way from that year energy. Am I attached to conditions? Do I need things to turn out? Am I micromanaging? All the themes of the week are going to be rising up and showing you whether or not you really are at peace with all of that, or if you are in a state of control or resistance. So just noticing how you feel on Friday is so important because it's an 8 of Hearts energy. Now, the 8 of Hearts is going to be playing off of the monthly energy. So amplification just went up a notch, or 12. So we're going to be feeling the amplification, I think, probably the most, even though we've got this new moon. I really think Friday is going to be this intense energy. And your mental thinking hasn't been the focus. It's been how you're feeling about things and the conditions that are coming in and how you're interpreting things, how you're integrating, all of that. And so it might create a disruption in the heart and the mind. And if it creates that disruption in the heart and the mind, what you'll notice is you're going to be feeling like things are moving quickly, or things are moving faster than you can keep up with, or you feel like you're a bit behind. You feel like life hasn't changed the way you want, or maybe you're not doing what you need to do to make those changes. I feel like this is going to be a bit of a wonky energy no matter what, because it's really inspiring you to release any fixed conditional thinking in your mind. So that fixed mind energy that we can all have in certain areas of our life, it's going to be challenging that. And it's going to be challenging because the heart really wants to be free. The heart really wants to express. The heart wants to be part of this shifting energy without the expectations or judgments of the mind. So that means being in the flow of energy as things move fast. So thinking about an example of this, oftentimes this energy, then when we bring these two together, the 6 and the 8 in a 6 energy year and 8 energy month, we have this feeling that things want to move fast, like a dance number, like fast-paced music, things that are moving quickly, going for a run versus a walk, that things want to have this energized capacity to it that allows you to repeat patterns that are serving you. But sometimes you can be repeating patterns that aren't serving you, like overwhelm or patterns of emotional connection with I'm either too connected in my business, I work too much, or I'm too attached to what others think of me, what they're feeling about me, their opinion of me. This is going to bring in family judgment for a lot of you. This is going to bring in what people have expectations of you or what your expectations are for others or within a dynamic. Your community, your immediate family, your larger family, the experiences of their expectations, what they want, what they're expressing, what they're experiencing with you, how you're making them feel or how they're making you feel, which isn't true. You can't cause anyone else to feel anything. You can only amplify together. So all of that may be coming up as a way of clearing quickly so that you can act on behalf of patterns that serve, which are patterns of love and appreciation and celebration, right? You might be feeling the speed of things if you're noticing or participating in they call it the Black Friday energy, which is the overindulgence in the consumption of goods, the over focus on what's outside of you and making sure, really challenging the FOMO, the fear of missing out on a deal or an offer or something that's happening. And it would be really easy to get sucked into that energy today. So Friday, be alert. The energy's moving fast. Be with that energy moving fast, but notice what direction you're going. Dance to the beat of your own drummer. Play your own music. Point your mind and heart towards things that you want more of in your life in the future. Do you want more overconsumption, or do you want more satisfaction and love and connection? Just taking a look at your priorities. That's all. So as Saturday comes into focus, what we notice is here's a pretty big shifting energy. It's going to be shifting in the way that I'm talking about it, but you're going to be feeling it shifting all week. So you're going to feel this experience of all these people around you, what's going on with the people around you, how they're reacting to you, how you're reacting to them. And then Saturday, you find yourself in this energy that is, how do I really want to experience things? You're going to experience things. You're going to have this more internal focus, this independence focus. You're going to be looking at things in the perspective of what about me? When is it my turn? Or if it's going to be, it's up to me. So there is an energy of creation that's beginning to stir and an invitation from the divine to take a walk on the wild side, a leap over the edge, if you, right? The feeling of I'm going to just let myself surrender and take that leap. I'm going to really surrender. I'm going to surrender into greater trust for myself. I'm going to surrender into deeper love and devotion for my own dreams. I'm going to be here for me. I'm going to do what I want. I feel like this is going to be a day where you're really going to want space for yourself. Now, this could be with other people, but you really want to do what you want to do. So it feels like a very independent, almost stubbornly, like, I really want to make sure that I get my way today. So there's a little bit of, I know everybody else wants to experience this. but I want to have this experience. And so it might cause you to go it alone as a result, or you may find that other people are drawn in to experience that same thing. But it's going to be a time of reflection and your own inner trust and faith and leap in belief for yourself. The point of this energy is to get you to recognize that while things are what they are, while you accept what is, it also is part of the natural process that in the accepting of what is, you also know that it really is up to you to have the next greatest experience. That even though you can accept what is right now, you can also accept that you're ready to change things. Both can be true at the same time. And in fact, it's better if they're true at the same time so that you can have an integration of that energy and a transition into greater belief and trust. Everything is okay. There's nothing wrong. I want to shift and I want to change. I want to leap to the other side. The consciousness is double 7 energy. So we have the 7 of hearts, the stream of consciousness, self-reflection. I'm in the 7, I'm taking a leap. Oftentimes you look at that 7 and it looks like you're on a platform and you're ready to jump off of it, right? So it's walking, it's like you've gone up, you've traveled so far, and then you need to take another path and leap over to the next one. So it's like you've gone up as much as you can, you've plateaued, and now from this plateau, the only way to change things is to leap and change course altogether. Like you've reached the end of this journey and now you need to make a radical shift in order to experience the next level of success. So the 7 is also showing up in the consciousness of the collective biorhythm. So the 7 is also inspiring everyone to not only take a leap for themselves, but to really support that today is leap energy. It is time for people to really break free of what was and do something different, to make a divergent shift from the old ways, the old world, the old ideas. That there's a lot of energy that's been caught up in believing that there's only this right path. And it feels like all those energies are being disrupted and invited to change. Invited to create a new path, invited to be creative in general, to be creative about their thinking, about what's possible, and to maybe find a new way collectively together. So there could be a lot of disruption here, I think, on the weekend. I think Saturday comes with a seeing of things and sort of the end of the road energy that if we're going to change it, we're going to have to be radically different. And so we may even see some of those radical changes coming out in public. You might see some influential people speaking out about things they've never spoken out about, being willing to go against the system, being a go against the mainstream ideas, something along those lines. You might see people rising up and being brave enough to speak something, share something, or even make big decisions that alter the course of history for a company, a country, a product, an experience, a life, whatever it is. But it feels like there's something very public that's rising up and it impacts the world as a result, in ways that some will be aware of and others won't. Some will care, some won't, and that's okay. But there is a collective impact that's unfolding. Then we have the energy that we're sort of getting ready for coming into Sunday that we're paying attention to still on Saturday, which is I can feel that something is about to come back into my experience. So you're feeling that on Saturday still. You're feeling this experience of I'm going to take a leap of faith because I feel like if I take this leap of faith, I'm going to be taken care of. So there's like this unconscious awareness. There's this subtle energy that you can feel coming into the energies of, I just know I'm going to be okay. Because of the way things have been unfolding all week, you're feeling a bit of what it feels like to me is that we're all feeling sort of this, I'm loved and cared for, and things do just work out. And so I feel like I can take this leap. And I think that's why we see the leap happening with those around us, either those influential or those influential in our lives. Maybe people around us, they're feeling a little braver because they also feel like, life really is, the universe, God, the divine is really taking care of us. And so we're going to be okay. There's a little greater trust that's unfolding in this 7 of Hearts, 7 ruling energy day that maybe we haven't felt in a while, because I think it's been pretty shaky for the last couple of years for everyone. Oh, Oh, Sunday. Sunday. This feels like a to be continued. This energy doesn't feel like an end or a completion. This one feels like it's rolling right into the next week. So I can't wait to see what's on the horizon after this. But Sunday comes in with I know you were thinking about making changes yesterday. I know you've been getting all kinds of feedback and lots of stuff has shifted and these gifts have come in, these experiences have come in, these awarenesses. Maybe it was an emotional or an intellectual gift. Maybe it was a real physical gift. Whatever the thing is that came in and changed you and caused you to feel a little braver and take some leaps, now is like, I see that you didn't leap all the way. I see that you didn't go all the way, and let me push you over the edge. Or maybe you were afraid to leap. Maybe you got so content because the week was so good. That happens to some of you where you're feeling like, oh, it was such a good week. I don't need to take that leap. I can do that next week, or I can do that later. And Sunday's energy says, no, you can't. It's right now. It's now. And it's like right this second now. And so Sunday has us feeling like, I got to do it now. It needs to unfold now. And here's because we're bringing in this energy, this 6-8 energy again. So we have what I call this infinite loop. So on Friday, we were feeling the 8-6, the 8 of hearts 6 energy. Well, Sunday, we're feeling the 6 of hearts 8 energy. We're activating the same kinds of conditions, but it's a little bit different. The 6 of hearts is coming from this internal place of the consciousness of who I see myself as. Oh shoot, I'm really seeing myself. I'm really seeing what's possible. And the 8 has me leaping forward faster than I can take it back. So it's like things are just happening. Conditions are unfolding karmically. I'm saying things, you know how we just say things? It's like they fall out of our mouth and then we go, I wish I could take that back. That's the kind of energy this week. So a lot of you might be saying things, committing to things, leaping on things that by Monday you're like, oh man, did I really say I was going to do that? But the momentum has you doing that so that you can get closer to your experience of your dream, so that you'll get yourself there. You won't keep yourself from it, and you'll break through the conditions that really were this week's energy. So if we come back to the point of this week and what Sunday is doing for all of us, is it's helping us clear our limited thinking around dreaming. You are capable of extraordinary things beyond your contemplation, beyond your perception, beyond your awareness. Even if you dream really big, it's still not as big as what's possible for you. And so becoming more practiced in the dream space is really important if we want to be creators and co-creators in this world. So to do that, we need to take bigger leaps to see that they're not that big. Right? So we need to expand our ability to leap so that we know we're capable. We can start seeing that we're capable of more, and our dreams can get bigger, and we can experience a collective shift here in this world. We can experience a greater good, not just for ourselves, but for all of us. Greater good is what is waiting on the other side of these energies for these next couple of years, these shifts that are happening. All of this is not wasted. Not all of this isn't a punishment. All of this isn't, it's not a loss. All of this energy is expanding humanity. It's moving us towards something better. So believing in that something better requires a growth of what we'll receive. So if you won't take the leaps, you won't allow more in because you're holding on to the past. If you don't leap, then you're holding on to the ground of where you are. You're holding on to the stability, right? That was our second theme. Are you allowing the shift, or are you attached to what is? Well, this energy says, nope, leap, go, move toward what you want. Let it be here now, today. Allow yourself to surrender to what's going to be for you. Surrender to your greater good. Surrender to it. This is such a powerful week. I hope you enjoy Sunday. I hope you let that energy transmute you. I hope you let yourself come to the end of this week seeing that you experienced a better week than you thought was possible, that you believe in yourself more than you ever have, that you trust your ability to create extraordinary change, and as a result, You have impacted not only your own life for the better, you've shifted the collective. Ah, what a beautiful week. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this whole conversation. I appreciate that you are here on this journey with me. And I appreciate the reflection, and I look forward to hearing how this week was for you and what you loved best about this forecast. Lots of love, and we'll see you next week.